All right. Hi, boys and girls. We're looking at lesson 4.11, and we're on page 300, and we're looking right here at problem 20, where we are being asked to write a story problem that can be solved using this number sentence. So a story problem or a number story. Now we have one right above here that we can kind of use for a model. Okay, so I think that would be our easiest route to take, is to look at this one and see how we can change number 19 to make it work for number 20. Or we could use number 31 and change it up to work for number 20. But we're just using kind of the frame or the story words to make it work for this. So I'm going to let somebody decide if they would like to use our colored notebooks for the problem, or if they'd like to use these colored pencils for the problem. So let's do a quick vote. If you'd like to see us using the notebooks, raise your hand. And if you'd like to see us using the pencils, raise your hand. Okay, and it looks like our pencils are the winner for this one. Now, if we look at our number story, okay, we have a mystery number, and we've talked about how when we have a mystery number, we're putting the word sum in our story. So let's go ahead and start writing this together. And I'm going to actually have you do this in your math journal on page 34. So I'm going to give you some time to get that out, because I want you to have a problem like this that you can look back at if you're asked to write a problem like this again. Okay. So our number sentence for page 34, we're going to write this at the top. We're looking at 12 plus 28 plus box equals 53. So go ahead and write that down. Now we're going to use number 21 as a model to write a number story, but with this equation, okay? So here we go. Now this number story uses Mr. Sampson, but let's pick a different name, all right? Okay, we can use me if you want to. All right, Garrett?
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. Okay. Yes.
Mrs. Katie.
Mrs. Katie. Okay.
Miss Carvalho.
Okay.
Miss
Mrs. Reed. All right. Yeah.
Miss Leo.
Miss Leo.
Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank. Yes.
Superman.
Superman. We can do Superman. We can pretend that Superman, because these are kind of some Superman colors. So let's go ahead and we can use Superman. That's fine. We'll pretend he is a teacher. So this is how we're going to start. We're going to say, so we're going to cross out Mr. Sampson, or we're going to write Superman in place. So skip a line, and I want you to write Superman. And then what are we going to write? What's right here? Gave. Good. His. Okay. His what? Students. Superman gave his students, now this says 31 yellow pencils, but are we using 31 yellow pencils?
No.
No. We need to use 12. That's the first number. I'm going to skip a line here. Superman gave his students 12 yellow pencils, comma, okay, now what are we going to say next? Very good. We're going to say 28 red pencils because we need to use this number. So we're going to say 28 red pencils, comma, and now here's our mystery number. So what word are we going to put in place there, everybody? Excellent. And some, okay, there's our mystery, and some blue pencils. Giving you a little bit of time to get caught up. Now with this one, can we now say how many pencils did he give to his students?
No.
We cannot, because they already told us that. They already told us how many pencils, okay? So we have to change now from this story a little bit, and this is what we have to do. Okay. So then we're going to say he gave his students I'm sorry. He gave his students 53 pencils. And this is our sum. So maybe we could say 53 pencils in all or all together. We'll say all together. Okay, so let's kind of review. We have Superman gave his students 12 yellow pencils, okay, 28 red pencils, okay, and some blue pencils. He gave his students 53 pencils altogether, because they gave us that. Now it's time for our question. What is the question? What are we trying to figure out? What are we trying to figure out? What are we trying to figure out? Yes.
What number goes in the blank?
We're trying to figure out, so how could we ask a question about that? We need to figure out what? Excellent. We need to ask how many, not just pencils, how many blue pencils that's super important that we put blue, because that's what we needed to figure out. How many blue pencils did he give his students? Question mark. There's our question. So hit pause if you need to finish getting this copied down. And now we need to solve it. We've written our number story. Now we actually need to solve it. So what is our first step in solving this? We have to solve for this. Now, one thing we're not going to do is we are not going to add these two together and put that here. That is not going to give us the correct answer, okay? What do we need to do first? Any ideas? What do we need to do first?
You could add it 12 and 28 together and then try
Yes,
and then go 53 minus
you've got it.
the number that
The first thing we need to do is we need to add 12 and 28 together. So we're going to do that down here. Let's do 12 plus 28. And I'm just going to set this up with regrouping. Okay, what is 2 plus 8? 10. Carry that 10. And now I have 1 10 plus 1 10 plus 2 10s. How many 10s is that? 4 10s. Okay, so these two together are 40. So I've got to figure out 40 plus what is 53. Now I can rewrite that. I can say 40 plus box equals 53. Do you see what I did there? I just added, we put our sum. 40 plus box equals 53. Are we okay with that? What is our last step? What do we need to do now?
get what the box is.
Yes. Okay, we need to figure out what goes in here. How can we figure this out? What can we do? What can we do? Yes.
You can do 40 plus 10 equals 50 plus 3 equals 13.
Oh, so she said, well, we could figure out by counting up. We could go, okay, so 40 plus 10 is 50, okay, plus 3 is 13. So you're saying we could put 13 in here?
Yeah.
Okay, now you know what? I always want to check my work, so I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to say, okay, 40 plus 13. When I add that up, 0 plus 3 is 3. 4 plus 1 is 5. Does that work? Yes. What's another way that I could solve it?
53 minus 40.
I could do 53 subtract 40. Okay, that's another way I could solve it. These are all in the same fact family. So I could go 53 subtract 40 like this. And I have 3 subtract 0 is 3. And 5 subtract 4 is 1. So that would also work. Okay. So we've got our answer here. Now, we are going to need to continue on to the next video because we are out of time. So look for part 2.